Sagittarius, the only soul who can carry your energy without breaking, deep spiritual awakening. Have you ever wondered why your energy seems too big for most people to hold, Sagittarius? Why your spirit feels like a wild horizon that some admire from a distance, but few can truly walk inside without getting lost or afraid? There is a reason your presence has always felt a little different, a little larger, a little harder to contain. You were not born for half-hearted connections or small, cautious love. You were born with a soul that stretches beyond the ordinary, a heart that speaks in truth, vision, and raw honesty. Tonight, as you listen, I want you to treat this moment like a quiet pilgrimage back to yourself. Let each word be a mirror, not of who the world told you to be, but of who you have always secretly known you are. Take a breath. Feel your chest soften even just a little. Somewhere deep down, you know your energy is not a problem to fix. It is a frequency to protect. As we walk together through this message, you may recognize parts of your story, your patterns in love, the way your spirit tries to be strong while craving someone who can finally stand beside you without asking you to shrink. If anything you hear resonates, save this space, share it with another wandering soul, and stay close to this channel, because this is not just a video. This is a journey home to the truth of your Sagittarius heart. Gate 1: The weight and wonder of a boundless spirit. Sagittarius, you were born beneath a sky that never stops moving. The universe placed fire in your chest not to burn you, but to remind you that motion itself is sacred, that curiosity is a kind of prayer. From a young age you felt it, didn't you? That inner pull toward what's far, what's hidden, what's true. You have always known that life is not meant to be lived inside fences. You crave experience like air, not because you're restless, but because your soul recognizes that truth is scattered everywhere. In people and places, in quiet revelations waiting behind risk. You are both wanderer and philosopher, a seeker who understands that wisdom is earned through the journey, not inherited from a book. But with such expansiveness comes a paradox. The more you grow, the lonelier you sometimes feel. The world is full of people who love adventure, but few who can keep up with the sacred restlessness of your spirit. They may admire your fire from afar, but when they try to hold it, they often flinch. They call you too independent, too direct, too much, because your truth burns through illusion, and not everyone is ready to be seen that clearly. It's not arrogance, it's accuracy. You see patterns others miss. You sense when a connection is shrinking your soul. You know when energy no longer moves. And so you pull back, not out of coldness, but out of reverence for your own frequency. Still, the heart aches, doesn't it? There are nights when even the stars feel distant, when you long for someone who doesn't just love your light, but understands the weight of carrying it. Someone who can walk beside you through both fire and silence, without trying to clip your wings or calm your flame. Yet this is the beautiful, frustrating irony of your sign. You are both freedom and devotion, wildness and wisdom. You run toward the horizon, but when you love like a vow. Few people realize that beneath your laughter and spontaneous spirit lies a depth so tender, so loyal, it frightens even you sometimes. That is why most cannot carry your energy. Your love is not casual, it's cosmic. When you give prophecy. You see potential in people, not as fantasy but as foresight. You speak life into their dreams, push them toward their truth, remind them of their divine purpose. But that sacred gift comes with a cost. Many have mistaken your encouragement for competition, your honesty for judgment, your strength for self-sufficiency. They didn't understand that even the most radiant fire sometimes needs warmth in return. They saw your independence and assumed you never needed to be held. Yet deep within you crave a connection that feels like home after endless travel. A love that doesn't bind you but steadies you. There's something profoundly spiritual about the way you love, Sagittarius. You are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, meaning, and divine faith. Every time you fall in love, it's a pilgrimage. You don't seek perfection. You seek purpose. You don't fall for appearances. You fall for authenticity. You want someone who believes in something, who lives with intention, who meets your passion with their own form of truth. Because love to you is not just chemistry, it's philosophy in motion. It's two souls daring to explore the infinite together. And yet, that vision has led you through heartbreaks that felt almost mythic. You've been misunderstood for needing space. You've been blamed for choosing growth over comfort. You've walked away from people who thought they could cage your flame and then resented you for escaping. But those endings were not failures, they were initiations. Each departure taught you that the fire inside you is not meant to be dimmed to make others feel safe. It's meant to guide, to purify, to reveal. Every time you said goodbye to something small, you said yes to something sacred. The truth is, Sagittarius, your energy carries a rare kind of power, the power of vision. You can see the future before it forms. You sense the potential in every path, every person, every possibility. That's why you often struggle to stay still. You are always expanding into what's next. But this expansion is not chaos. It's creation. You are the Zodiac's teacher of hope, the philosopher of fire who reminds the rest of us that faith is not blind. It's brave. To believe in something bigger than what's visible is your superpower. Even when you've been hurt, you keep loving. Even when you've been betrayed, you keep trusting life. That resilience is not naivete. It's divine rebellion against despair. And when it comes to relationships, your lesson has never been about settling down. It has been about settling into yourself, into truth, into peace. The one who can carry your energy will not be intimidated by your fire. They will be warmed by it. They will not try to own your freedom. They will celebrate it. They will not demand that you shrink to fit their comfort. They will expand beside you. Because real love for you is not about possession. It's about partnership and purpose. You don't want someone who completes you. You want someone who complements your mission. You will know them not by the thrill, but by the calm. Not by butterflies, but by grounding. When you meet them, there won't be fireworks. There will be recognition. An ancient familiarity, like remembering a dream you've had 1,000 times. They will not fear your honesty. They will look you in the eye and say, "Tell me more." They will not run from your depth. They will dive with you. And in their presence, your laughter will sound different. Not defensive, not distracting, but free. But until that soul arrives, understand this. Your solitude is not punishment. It is preparation. Every season of walking alone has been the universe's way of aligning your energy with truth. You are learning the sacred difference between being loved and being matched. Anyone can love your light. Few can stand inside it. You are not meant to be everyone's warmth. You are meant to be someone's horizon. The right person will not chase your fire for excitement. They will tend to it with respect. So take a breath, Sagittarius. Exhale the weight of misunderstanding. You were never too much, you were simply made for more. Your freedom is not a flaw. Your honesty is not harshness. Your longing is not weakness. These are the holy traits of a spirit that came here to expand consciousness itself. Every time you speak truth, you stretch the universe a little wider. Every time you love bravely, you remind the world that connection without authenticity is just noise. Remember, the one who can carry your energy does exist. They are out there, also walking toward growth, also refusing to settle, also preparing for something sacred. When the time is right, your paths will cross. Not because you searched endlessly, but because you finally stood still in your truth. That is when love will find you, not as chaos but as completion. Not as captivity but as communion. So keep walking, archer of light. Keep trusting your fire. The world needs your vision, your laughter, your faith. The ones who misunderstand your depth are not your burden to educate. You are here to live expansively, love courageously, and remind us all that freedom, when guided by wisdom, is the purest form of devotion. Gate 2: The soul that seeks meaning beyond love. Sagittarius, your heart has always searched for something more than affection. It has searched for meaning. Love alone was never enough for you, not because you are ungrateful or unromantic, but because your spirit came here to experience depth, purpose, and truth through connection. For you, love without meaning feels like a beautiful song sung off-key. It touches the ear, but not the soul. You are a philosopher of emotion, someone who does not fall for people's faces but for their frequency, their philosophy, their fire. You want to look at someone and see not just who they are, but who they are becoming. You want to grow beside them, to learn from them, to build something that outlives the temporary pulse of attraction. That is why so many of your past relationships felt unfinished. They ended not because you stopped caring, but because your soul outgrew the version of love that had no purpose. From an early age, you sensed that relationships were mirrors. Not rewards, not punishments, but sacred classrooms. Each connection taught you something. How to trust, how to forgive, how to let go without bitterness. Yet, in the process, you often carried more weight than others realized. You became the one who encouraged, who inspired, who pushed people to believe in themselves, even when no one was doing that for you. You have played the teacher, the healer, the motivator, roles your spirit naturally gravitates toward, but deep inside, there was always a quiet question echoing. Who holds space for me? You see, Sagittarius, your spiritual architecture is built around expansion. You are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, higher truth, and divine timing. It blesses you with the ability to see far beyond the surface. You can sense the spiritual potential inside people long before they awaken to it themselves. That is your gift, but also your cross. Because when you love someone, you do not just love who they are. You fall in love with their possibility. And sometimes that vision becomes a trap. You start investing in what could be rather than what is. You keep hoping that love can accelerate growth, that devotion can replace discipline. But life, in its sacred honesty, has taught you otherwise. No one evolves until they choose to. And your lesson has been to stop carrying other people's destinies on your back. This is why your heart has felt heavy even in relationships that seemed good enough. You could feel when the energy stopped expanding, when the curiosity faded, when the depth you craved was replaced by comfort. And you, the eternal student of life, could not stay where there was nothing left to learn. Many misread that as inconsistency, as if you are incapable of settling down. But the truth is far deeper. You are incapable of staying somewhere your soul cannot grow. That is not instability, it is integrity. For you, stillness without purpose is a kind of death. You need movement not to escape but to evolve. You may have noticed that you fall in love not just with people, but with ideas, with possibilities, with causes that ignite your spirit. You see life as a grand quest, and you want a partner who sees it that way too. Someone who doesn't just love you, but joins you in the search for truth, who challenges your mind, who asks real questions, who values meaning over convenience. You crave a companion who doesn't just walk beside you, but walks with awareness, who understands that relationships are not possessions, but sacred collaborations between two evolving souls. You don't want to be needed. You want to be chosen. And you want someone strong enough to choose you again and again, not out of obligation but out of conscious reverence. But finding such a soul is not simple, because most people are not ready to meet love at that frequency. Many seek comfort, you seek evolution. Many fear change, you breathe it. Many crave validation, you crave truth. And truth by nature is demanding. It asks for surrender, vulnerability, accountability. It strips away illusion. And that's why your energy often intimidates people. You are not just asking for love. You are inviting them into transformation. Some will accept the invitation, most will not. But that doesn't make your longing too much. It makes it sacred. There will come a time, soon if it hasn't already arrived, when you begin to understand that your deepest need was never for romance itself, but for resonance. You are not seeking a partner to fill your emptiness. You are seeking a mirror that reflects your expansion. You want to be seen not through desire but through recognition, that silent acknowledgement between two awakened souls that says, I see you growing and I want to grow too. When that person appears, Sagittarius, you will feel something rare: peace. Not the dull, stagnant peace of complacency, but the vibrant, alive peace that comes from alignment. It will feel like breathing after holding your breath for years. Until then, your journey is about discovering that the meaning you seek through others first lives inside you. You are your own great adventure. The same fire that drives you to explore the world can also illuminate your inner landscape. The same faith that makes you believe in destiny can make you trust divine timing. When you stop running from solitude, you realize it is not emptiness. It is the echo of your own wisdom calling you home. That is where you remember. The universe is not withholding love from you. It is refining it. And perhaps the greatest revelation for you, Sagittarius, is this: love is not the destination. It is the path. Every person you've loved, every disappointment, every goodbye, every divine timing delay, all of it was leading you back to the truth that you were never meant to chase love. You were meant to embody it. When you live with integrity, curiosity, and purpose, love finds you naturally, not as rescue, but as recognition. You don't have to perform to be worthy. You don't have to shrink to be chosen. You simply have to stand in your truth, open and unafraid. knowing that the universe always matches frequencies, never fantasies. So walk your road boldly, Archer. Keep your bow aimed not at people but at purpose. Keep your eyes wide open, not for validation but for alignment. Somewhere out there, a soul with eyes full of truth is walking toward you. Not because they need your light, but because they share it. And when you meet, it will not be about falling in love. It will be about rising in it. Gate 3: the pilgrimage through pain and wisdom. Sagittarius, your journey has never been one of ease, and that is the very reason your spirit shines so brightly. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every season where your hopes felt deferred, has been a sacred teacher guiding you toward the wisdom you now carry. Your fire is not simply born of joy. It has been forged in the quiet crucible of struggle. From the first time life demanded more of you than you thought you could give, you learned the strength of endurance. From every betrayal, every misunderstanding, every moment when your expansive heart met walls of fear or doubt, you discovered the depth of patience. Your soul has walked through storms that left others shattered, yet you emerged not hardened but refined. Pain, Sagittarius, has been your secret mentor. While others sought to avoid suffering, you recognize that true growth cannot exist without it. Each tear, each ache, each moment of lonely contemplation has been a sharpening stone, honing your intuition, your discernment, and your courage. You have felt the weight of your own energy pressing against the world, and you have learned to carry it with grace rather than burden. You understand that true wisdom is not found in comfort, but in navigating complexity without losing sight of your essence. You know that life is not about fleeing difficulty, but about walking through it fully awake, fully present, and fully aligned with your purpose. There is something extraordinary in the way you process the lessons of life, Sagittarius. You transform challenges into insights, sorrow into vision, setbacks into stepping stones. Where someone else might see pain as punishment, you perceive it as preparation. Every time you felt misunderstood, you were learning the sacred art of discernment, recognizing who can match your energy, who can hold your heart without breaking, and who must be released so your path remains clear. This is the pilgrimage of your spirit, an ongoing journey to refine your capacity to love deeply without losing yourself, to give fully without surrendering your sovereignty, and to stand in your truth even when it isolates you from the comfortable or conventional. Your experiences have also cultivated an unparalleled empathy, Sagittarius. Because you have known struggle intimately, you can perceive the subtleties in others' pain. You recognize the hidden fears behind a defensive gaze, the unspoken yearning beneath a guarded exterior. You do not judge those who stumble or falter, because you understand that everyone carries unseen burdens. Yet, you have also learned the crucial lesson that empathy does not mean carrying others' energy at the expense of your own. You are not a vessel meant to absorb every struggle around you. Your heart is sacred, and your energy is precious. This wisdom, the balance between compassion and protection, is what sets you apart from those who love lightly. You love with depth, but you do so intentionally, with boundaries that honor your own growth and stability. And in this journey through pain, you have discovered your capacity for resilience, Sagittarius. You are a soul who can endure what others cannot, because you see each challenge not as an obstacle but as a teacher, not as a setback but as a stage in your evolution. You have learned to rise when others fall, to rebuild when others despair, and to continue seeking light even when shadows gather. Your energy is rare because it is tempered by both fire and wisdom, fierce yet patient, expansive yet centered. This is why only a select few can stand beside you without trembling. Only those who have faced their own darkness can meet your light with steadiness and grace. Your pilgrimage has also deepened your understanding of sacred connection. You have witnessed relationships that demanded too much of you, love that drained rather than nourished, devotion that asked you to shrink rather than soar. And through each experience you have grown in clarity. Not all hearts are ready for the energy you carry. Not all souls are prepared to rise alongside yours. You have learned that it is not your responsibility to fix or save those who are unready. Your task is to remain aligned with your truth, to cultivate the clarity and strength that attract the right companions, and to trust that the universe delivers those who can meet you where you are. Fully, consciously, and with reverence. This pilgrimage has not been about suffering for its own sake, Sagittarius. It has been about awakening. Each trial has been an invitation to step deeper into your power, to refine your heart, and to expand your capacity for love and wisdom. You have learned that the greatest victories are not loud or visible. They are quiet, internal, and enduring. Your triumph is in the steadiness of your spirit, in the grace with which you navigate life, and in the clarity with which you discern what is worthy of your energy. And now, Sagittarius, you stand at a threshold. The experiences that once felt like burdens are now your foundation. Every heartbreak has sculpted your compassion. Every disappointment has strengthened your resolve. Every lonely night has sharpened your discernment. You are no longer the same soul who first embarked on this journey. You are a pilgrim who has walked through fire and emerged whole. A seeker who has navigated pain and discovered purpose. A heart who has learned that endurance is sacred and wisdom is your inheritance. You are ready for the connections that honor this journey. Relationships that match your depth, partnerships that respect your freedom, and love that celebrates both your light and your shadows. You have earned the right to stand fully in your energy, to open your heart without fear, and to be met by souls who carry themselves with integrity, awareness, and devotion. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, shaping you through experience so that when you meet those who are truly aligned, the union will not only sustain you but elevate you. In essence, Sagittarius, your pilgrimage through pain has been a preparation for the sacred. It has taught you that true connection, whether with love, friendship, or purpose, is not shallow or fleeting. It is a co-creation between awakened souls who understand the value of growth, the necessity of honesty, and the beauty of alignment. You are no longer seeking merely to be loved. You are seeking to be recognized, respected, and mirrored in the fullness of your being. You understand that love is not about saving or rescuing, but about standing together, rising together, and building a reality that honors the fire and wisdom within both souls. This gate is a reminder, Sagittarius, that every step of your journey, every trial, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt, was a sacred teacher. You have been molded into someone capable of carrying not only your own expansive energy, but also participating in partnerships that demand depth, integrity, and reverence. And when the right soul arrives, they will not only hold your energy, they will honor it, match it, and walk beside you in a way that feels like coming home. Your pilgrimage is ongoing, and each day offers a new lesson in wisdom, resilience, and discernment. But you are no longer afraid of the path. You no longer shrink from your own fire. You no longer confuse endurance with compromise. You are the Sagittarius who has emerged from trials stronger, wiser, and ready to receive the sacred connections that your spirit has long anticipated. Gate 4, the sacred alignment that holds your frequency. Sagittarius, the culmination of your journey through fire, growth, and discernment is not just about endurance or wisdom. It is about alignment. There is a reason your heart has been tempered by challenges, refined through solitude, and sharpened by insight, to attract the energy that can truly meet yours. This is the sacred threshold where your frequency calls out, seeking resonance with a soul capable of standing fully beside you, not behind you, not above you, but in the same vibration of purpose, devotion, and presence. This alignment is rare because it is not superficial. It is not defined by appearances, convenience, or fleeting excitement. It is measured in patience, integrity, and the quiet courage to hold space for what is sacred. Your frequency, Sagittarius, is expansive, dynamic, and unwavering. It does not bend easily, nor should it. You have learned that compromise does not mean submission, and flexibility does not mean dilution. True alignment is not about adjusting to the lowest common denominator. It is about rising together to a higher truth. The soul who matches your energy will recognize your expansiveness as a gift, not a challenge. They will see your honesty as illumination, not threat. They will welcome your independence as strength, not distance. In their presence, you will feel the rare balance of freedom and connection, adventure and stability, fire and grounding. You have already walked through the crucible of relationships that demanded too much or asked too little. You have experienced the fatigue of giving without reciprocity, of loving without understanding. And that is why this alignment is not just about love, it is about recognition. The right soul will see the architecture of your heart and the scope of your spirit and will neither be daunted nor indifferent. They will walk beside you willingly, with conscious intention and deliberate effort, knowing that sacred energy must be both given and received to flourish. Sagittarius, consider what you have learned through every season of life. The universe does not waste preparation. Every disappointment, every pause, Every lonely stretch was tuning your vibration to the level of connection you deserve. You were never meant to blend into ordinary spaces or settle for companionship that feels hollow. Your spirit requires partnership that expands, challenges, and honors. Only those who have confronted their own shadows, cultivated their own resilience, and recognized the sanctity of energy can truly hold yours. The alignment you seek is not chance. It is a convergence of readiness, maturity, and shared purpose. This sacred alignment will manifest subtly at first, like the slow warming of the sun before dawn. You will not feel fireworks or sudden frenzy. Instead, you will experience clarity, ease, and resonance that makes every prior struggle make sense. You will no longer feel the need to explain your depth, temper your fire, or test others' intentions. Recognition will replace doubt, and trust will replace tension. In this space, your heart will breathe freely, your energy will no longer be scattered, and your spirit will feel understood at a foundational level. The soul capable of standing in your frequency will not be distracted by superficial desires or fleeting gratification. They will value integrity over charm, growth over comfort, presence over performance. They will understand that your energy is rare, not fragile, that your depth is not intimidating, and that your fire is not to be tamed but shared. When they arrive, there will be a mutual understanding that each step taken together is a co-creation, a sacred dialogue between two fully realized energies. Their commitment will not be contingent on perfection. It will be anchored in recognition of the holiness of connection, the sacredness of intention, and the reverence for truth. Sagittarius, it is important to recognize that this alignment is not something to chase. You have been prepared for it, cultivated to receive it, and your discernment will ensure it arrives when your timing and theirs converge. It is not about force, manipulation, or coercion. It is about resonance, readiness, and mutual acknowledgement of the sacred work each of you carries. You do not dilute, you do not compromise, you do not settle. This alignment honors every lesson, every sacrifice, and every piece of wisdom you have gathered along your journey. When you meet this soul, you will notice the subtle signs immediately. There will be no need for pretense. There will be a sense of homecoming, a calmness that contrasts sharply with the turbulence of unaligned relationships. You will feel supported, challenged, and inspired in equal measure. They will neither cling nor withdraw. They will move alongside you, steady, strong, and present. Your conversations will feel expansive yet grounding. Your silences will feel safe, not lonely. Your energy, once guarded and measured, will be received fully without fear, judgment, or misunderstanding. This sacred alignment is more than romantic or emotional connection. It is a convergence of purpose, clarity, and spiritual resonance. It is the manifestation of your evolution, your journey through trials, your courage to maintain integrity and truth. You have been sculpted by experience, refined by solitude, and strengthened through every challenge. Now your energy is prepared to meet its equal, to stand in mutual respect and shared expansion. Sagittarius, trust this process. Your alignment will not rush. It will not force itself upon you. It will arrive as all sacred things do, with patience, precision, and purpose. And when it does, you will finally understand that every heartbreak, every period of waiting, and every moment of doubt was preparing you for this rare, resonant union. You will recognize that the soul capable of holding your energy is not a myth, not a fantasy, but a living, breathing reality guided by the same cosmic orchestration that shaped your spirit. Stand tall in this knowledge, Sagittarius. Continue to live boldly, love fiercely, and explore the vast landscapes of life and self. Your energy is precious, your frequency is rare, and your path is sacred. The universe is not asking you to dim, to rush, or to settle. It is calling you to remain aligned with truth, ready to receive the partnership that matches your depth, honors your journey, and celebrates the fullness of your being. When that alignment occurs, it will not merely sustain you, it will elevate you, reaffirming that your soul's long pilgrimage through pain, wisdom, and discernment has led you to the connection you were always destined to experience. Conclusion: returning to the sacred circle. Sagittarius, as we arrive at this moment together, take a deep breath and feel the journey you have traversed. You have wandered through fire and shadow, through longing and awakening, through the subtle tests that life laid upon your heart. Every lesson, every heartbreak, every solitary step has been shaping you, refining you, preparing you for the sacred alignment you now know is possible. Look back for a moment. Not with regret but with gratitude. The nights you thought you were alone were not emptiness. They were preparation. The love you could not hold on to was not loss. It was calibration. Every soul that failed to match your energy was not a mistake. It was guidance. Every struggle has brought you closer to the truth of who you are and what you deserve. You are not here to dilute yourself for acceptance. You are not here to lower your fire so that others may feel comfortable. You are here to rise, Sagittarius, to honor the fullness of your energy, and to carry your heart with integrity. The truth is that your discernment is a sacred act. Your patience is a spiritual practice, and your standards are the boundaries that protect not just you, but the energy you pour into the world. You have learned that love is not a transaction, a convenience, or a reward. Love is a sacred co-creation between two awakened souls who recognize each other's depth, honor each other's journeys, and hold each other in the light of truth. As you step forward from this moment, remember that your path is not measured by the applause of the world or the approval of those who cannot match your fire. Your path is measured by alignment, by resonance, integrity, and the sacred capacity to carry your energy without compromise. You have been trained by life to recognize the difference between love that drains and love that nourishes. You have learned to protect your essence, to safeguard your energy, and to honor your spiritual sovereignty. And in doing so, you have prepared yourself for a connection that mirrors your own sacredness, that elevates rather than diminishes, that celebrates the totality of your being. You are rising, Sagittarius. Rising into a version of yourself that no longer chases what is unworthy. Rising into a chapter where peace is natural, loyalty is sacred, and love is steady, mutual, and transformative. You are stepping into a reality where your depth is matched, your fire is honored, and your heart is finally understood. The universe is aligning what is meant for you, not by chance, not by effort, but by divine orchestration. The soul capable of carrying your frequency is walking toward you even now, guided by the same light that shaped your journey. So stand in your truth. Breathe into your strength. Let your heart soften into the realization that every season of struggle was sacred preparation. Every silent moment of waiting was a divine pause. And every choice to honor yourself over compromise was an act of spiritual wisdom. You do not need to seek love. You need only to continue being the expansive, courageous, and discerning soul you are. When alignment occurs, it will feel natural, effortless, and profound. A quiet recognition, a steady presence, a sanctuary for your heart and energy. You have not been left behind, Sagittarius. You have not wandered in vain. Every experience has guided you. Every challenge has strengthened you. Every lesson has prepared you. And now, as you emerge into this chapter of readiness, you can trust. What is meant for you will arrive in the perfect time. In the perfect way, guided by the divine rhythm of the universe. Step forward with certainty, courage, and grace. You are sacred, you are rare, and you are fully prepared to receive the connection your soul has been awaiting. Your story is not about waiting, it is about unveiling. Every step forward is you coming home to yourself, to your essence, and to the sacred love that recognizes and matches your energy. Continue to honor your journey, protect your peace, and trust that the soul built to hold your frequency is real, walking this earth, and destined to meet you in alignment. You are ready, you are worthy, and your chapter of profound connection has already begun.